Oh, hey, yeah, it's me, Curtis Does a Dig. It's been like, what, 8 months since I last made an episode for Make It Worse? Believe it or not, that's a really long time. But I'm back, and I know what I want to do today. In the last episode, I made this Wand of Poison, and I set up both the Wand of Poison and Wand of Dimensions to be what I call an Impulse Wand. But now we're going to make a new wand type called a Hold Wand, and I'm going to show you guys how to use macros. So welcome back to Make It Worse. So I'm going to be absolutely real with you guys. I actually don't remember what version of Minecraft the last episode of Make It Worse was, so this might not cover everything that needs to be covered to update it to 1.21.5, but we are definitely going to be updating the pack format to at least version 71, and that is going to be in your pack.mc meta file. And then we're going to start doing some other fun stuff. We're going to right click on our wands folder, add a new folder and name that tags, and then add a new folder inside of that named entity underscore type. And inside of that, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to call it non underscore stasis underscore entities.json. And in this, we're going to expect a map like. A map like is just a set of curly brackets, and inside of that, we're going to put in values followed by a colon and a set of square brackets. And inside those square brackets, we're going to add a bunch of things. These are going to be all the different entities that we do not want the stasis wand to affect, such as the number sign, arrows. This means that it is a tag for arrows, and that includes arrow and spectral arrow, area effect cloud, block display, dragon fireball, egg, experience bottle, end crystal, experience orb, eye of ender pearl, falling block, firework rocket, fishing bobber, glow item frame, interaction, item display, item frame, leash knot, lightning bolt, lingering potion, llama spit, marker, painting, hashtag redirectable projectile, shulker bullet, snowball, splash potion, small fireball, text display, and trident. These are all the different entity types that we do not want the stasis wand to affect, just because they have some weird behaviors to them. Next, let's go ahead and set up the recipe for the Wand of Stasis.json file. And I'm actually going to copy the Wand of Poison, and we're going to paste that over here. And we have our stick, we have our block, which I'm going to replace with a gold block. And then our tip is going to be a slime ball. After that, we're going to change the custom model data to 3 for the float. We're going to change the name to Wand of Stasis. And then we're going to change the wand type from impulse to hold. So this is going to make it so our wand will require a stick, a gold block, and slime ball in a diagonal shape to create our Wand of Stasis with a custom model data of 3. And we're setting the custom data wand type to hold. Now let's go ahead and create the advancement that's going to run while we're using a hold wand. If you remember last time we created the use impulse wand, now we're going to do use hold wand. And we're actually going to copy the use impulse wand over as well. And instead of it saying wand type impulse, we're going to change it to hold. And we're going to add in for the function wands/using hold wand. And this is going to give us a warning because that doesn't exist yet. But don't worry, we're going to make it right now, after we get a few other things set up. In the load function we already have, we're going to add a few more things here. For example, we're going to add team add green, and we're going to do team modify green color, and we're going to set it to dark underscore green. We're also going to copy the impulse block code, and for both the impulse block and the hold block, these are both being used to determine if the player is still holding down the mouse button. For the impulse block, what this was being used for is to prevent the function from running multiple times until the player releases and clicks again. For the hold block, we're actually doing something a little bit different. We're using this to actually stop the function when the player releases it. because for hold wands, those are going to be continuously activated as the player holds down the mouse button. We're also going to add in a new scoreboard objective called wand.raycast element, and it's going to be a dummy just like me. And then we're going to set up some storage values. We're going to do data, modify, storage, Minecraft, wands underscore storage, wands.stasis underscore data, set value, and a set of square brackets. This is just an empty list. And then data, modify, storage, Minecraft, wand storage, wands.temp underscore stasis underscore data, set value, and then in a set of curly brackets, we're going to do player UUID a set of square brackets 0, 0, 0, 0, comma, stasis UUID a set of square brackets 0, 0, 0, 0. The reason we're doing this is we want to have some temporary data to store the player using the wand and the entity that's been grabbed by the wand into this temp data, and then we're going to put that temp data into our stasis data. So this is more of a permanent data. This is a temporary data. It will get replaced multiple times. Now we're going to hop on over to our tick function again. We're going to copy these two lines with the wand impulse block, and we are going to replace impulse with hold for all three. So it should say wand.hold block on all three of these values here. We're also going to add in a little bit of extra code that might not make sense to you yet, but just trust me on this. We're going to do execute as @e, and then in a set of square brackets, tag equals wands.glowing underscore for underscore team, unless entity @s, and then another set of square brackets, nbt equals, and then a set of curly brackets, active underscore effects, a set of square brackets, a set of curly brackets, ID, and then in quotes, Minecraft, glowing, and then outside of all this, run team leave @s, and then we're going to copy all this stuff right here from execute over to the end of the @s selector, and we're going to paste it again, and we're going to do run tag @s remove wands.glowing for team. The reason we're adding this is one of the effects we're going to add to the entities that are in stasis is a glowing effect, and while they're glowing, we're going to set their team to that green team we set up in the load function, which is going to make them glow green. And after we release them, once this glowing effect is over, I want to remove them from the team and remove them from this tag list. Next, we're going to do underneath the schedule function wands tick 1t, we're going to do execute as @a tag equals wand.has underscore entity underscore in underscore stasis run function wands wands / wand underscore of underscore stasis / stasis underscore tick with entity @s, and this is going to give us a warning because we haven't set up the function yet. But trust me, it's going to work. Next, let's go ahead and open up our wands folder, and we already have Wand of Dimensions and Wand of Poison. We're going to create a new folder, Wand of Stasis, and inside Wand of Stasis, we're going to create a new file using underscore hold underscore wand.mc function. And now that we've actually created this function, if we hop back to the advancement, use underscore hold underscore wand, we still have this warning here. And also I did mess something up. We're going to fix it right now. It's going to be wands / wand underscore of underscore stasis / using hold wand. And now that should get rid of that warning. We close out of the advancement. Using hold wand is going to be pretty straightforward and simple. We're going to do scoreboard players set @s wand.hold block 2, and then advancement revoke @s from wands wand, and then we want to be able to use the wand. Let's go to using impulse wand, and we're actually just going to copy that first item in this list of selected items. So execute if entity selected item stick, and then all the different values there. We're just going to paste that here, and let's zoom out so you can see the whole line. We have our stick, we have our custom model data, we know that's going to be 3F, And instead of using the Wand of Dimensions, we want to use the Wand of Stasis. So we're going to do wands/wand_of_stasis/use_wand_of_stasis. There's so many underscores in this. And again, we have a warning. Do you know why we have that warning? I do. It's because we haven't made this function yet. We'll do it in just a second, but trust me, it works. In fact, let's go ahead and create this function, and we're going to create use_wand_of_stasis.mc function. And inside this, we're going to do execute if entity at s, and then in square brackets tag equals wand.has_entity in stasis, all with underscores in between the words. put the underscores in between the words. Run, return. We can return fail, we can return 0. I return 1. That's my personal preference. You can return a fail if you want. It's not actually returning to anything, it's just stopping the function right here if the player has this tag already. So if the player already has this tag, we're going to stop the function right here. But if the player doesn't have the tag, we're going to do scoreboard players set at s wand.raycast element, and we're going to set it to 50. Now, the reason we're setting that raycast element to 50 is we are going to raycast in increments of 0.1 up to 5 blocks. And so the math makes it so we actually have to go up 50 increments to actually make it to 5. Underneath that, we're going to do function wands::wand of stasis/get entity for stasis with entity at s. And guess what? You're not going to believe this. This is going to have a warning because we haven't made the function for it. But if we hop back over to using holding wand, let's just hit space real quick and it'll update the function. And now our function is perfect. Beautiful. No warnings. This one still has one though. So let's fix that. We're going to create a new function inside Wand of Stasis, and we're going to name it get_entity_for_stasis.mc function. And now in this script, the use Wand of Stasis function, if we just hit space, it'll update that function. Nope, it did not. Why? Oh, it's because I can't spell for the life of me, apparently. Okay, now listen. This is where things start to get a little bit confusing, okay? But I need you to trust me. We're going to start tackling something called macros. In that function we just ran, function wands::wand/wand of stasis/get entity for stasis, we added with entity at s. That means this function is going to run with the data found from this entity. Now that might not make sense right away, but I'll show you right now what that means. I'm going to put a $ execute if data storage, if I could, oh my gosh, I can't spell, data storage Minecraft :wands_storage wands.stasis_data in square brackets, in curly brackets, player UUID : and this is where the macro comes in, $, and then a set of parentheses, UUID. And then outside of that, run, return, it could be fail, it could be 0, it could be 1 in my case. This is grabbing the UUID from the entity that we added to this function. And we don't only have to get the UUID, we can get any data from the player. So for example, if I do /data get entity Curtis does a dig, you see all of these different blue text. That's what I could get from this macro. So I have the UUID, right? But I could also get my dimension. I can get if I'm on the ground. I can get all sorts of data from this list. So what this is doing is we're checking. Oh, also I put of instead of if. Nobody told me that. Why didn't you guys tell me that? I was trusting you to tell me this, and you didn't, and I'm a little bit disappointed in you. So what's happening here is if the storage for stasis underscore data has our player's ID, we're going to skip over this because the data is already present. So we shouldn't have to run this function again. After that, we're going to do scoreboard players remove at s wand.raycast element 1. And then we're going to do execute if score at s wand.raycast element matches ... -1. Run return run scoreboard players reset at s wand.raycast element. So this function is going to run recursively. That means it's going to run once, and if it doesn't meet a certain criteria, it's going to run again and again until that criteria is met. One of these criteria in this case is the raycast element is less than 0. So every time this function runs, we're going to remove 1 from the score. Remember, it starts at 50, so it's going to run 50 times before this command gets ran. After that, we're going to do another macro command. So $execute position caret 0.1 unless entity at n, and then in square brackets nbt equals exclamation point, set of curly brackets uuid colon, and then $, set of parentheses, and inside those parentheses uuid. After the parentheses, we're going to do comma distance equals ... 1 comma tag equals exclamation point wand dot in underscore stasis comma type equals exclamation point hashtag wands colon non stasis entities with underscores separating them, with the closing square bracket on the end. Run return run function wands colon wands slash wand underscore of underscore stasis slash get underscore entity underscore for underscore stasis with entity at s. So I'll zoom out so you guys can see the whole command right here, but then I'm going to zoom back in so I can tell you guys exactly what's going on. So we are going to be positioned exactly 0.1 blocks ahead of the last position this function ran. So if this is the first time it's ran, it's going to be 0.1 blocks in front of the player's eyes. But then the next time it runs, it's going to be 0.2 blocks. Then the next time 0.3, and then 0.4, 0.5, and so on and so forth until it reaches 5 blocks away from the player's eyes. And it's going to keep doing that unless there is an entity that does not have the player's UUID, that is within 1 block of distance, that is not tagged as wand.instasis, and is not one of the non-stasis entities that we set up for that tag not too long ago. And because this is unless that entity exists, it's going to keep running until it finds that entity. So this is what's causing the recursive function. If it is not able to find this entity, we're going to call this function again with the entity again. So it's just going to create this loop until either the scoreboard runs out or it finds the entity. Underneath that, we're going to do data modify storage Minecraft wand storage wands dot temp underscore stasis underscore data dot player uuid set from entity at s uuid. Then we're going to do another macro command. Now, this is something I want to show you guys real quick. I didn't show you on the last two, but I'll show you it here. What you can do if you want the autofill to still work, because when you use macros, the autofill doesn't really work as nicely. But if you don't use the macro, you can do execute positioned, and then we'll do the 3 characters 0.1 run data modify storage Minecraft colon wand storage wands dot temp stasis data dot stasis uuid set from entity at n, and we're going to put in all of these different things again. In fact, I'm just going to copy it from this macro and I'll paste it right here. We're going to get an error, but at least the autofill's working, okay? And we'll fix that in just a second anyway. So we're setting it from the entities UUID. Now, once we have this function in here, we can go back to the beginning and add that $sign to make it a macro function. So you can write out the function without using the $sign to get the autofill to work correctly, and then afterwards go back in and put the $sign in because we are using a macro statement. So what this is doing right now is the entity has been found. That's why it's gotten past this point, because we have this return here that would make it, if it did not find the entity, we're just going to return. But it did find the entity, so we're moving past this, and now we're setting the temp stasis data.player UUID to the player's UUID. But we still need to get the entity's UUID, and to do that we need to make sure that the entity we're grabbing is still not the player. So we're going to still do it the same exact way we detected to see if it was the entity. And so we're setting temp stasis data.stasis UUID from the entity that we have found, UUID. I know this is a lot to take in all at once, but just trust me that it works. We're going to do more macro stuff in the future, and so we'll definitely be learning this a lot more as we go, and you'll become more familiar with it. It's very useful, but it can be very confusing. Underneath that, we're going to do data, modify, storage, Minecraft::wand storage, wands.stasis data, and we're going to append from storage, wand storage, wands.temp underscore, oh my gosh, I can't type, underscore stasis underscore data. So now that we have filled out the temp stasis data, we can now append that to the stasis data list. After that, we're going to tag @s add wand.hasEntity in stasis. And underneath that, we're going to do another macro, but without the $sign, just so we can get the autofill working. We're going to do basically the same exact thing, where we're going to do execute positioned right in front of wherever the last point was as this entity. So we're just going to copy that down one more time. Run tag @s add wand.in underscore stasis. And then again, at the beginning, we're going to add that $sign to make sure that it's working as a macro command. And finally, execute @s run play sound Minecraft :entity.slime.squish, I think is the one we're wanting to use. Player at their position, volume of 1, pitch of 1, min volume of 0. So when this entity is officially found, we're going to add them to the data, we're going to tag everybody, and then we're going to play a sound. I know, this one function was a lot. I completely understand that. It was a lot. But we're not done yet. Now we can go back to the tick function, and if you remember, we added in this function stasis underscore tick. Let's go ahead and add that in real quick to our Wand of Stasis folder. So stasis underscore tick.mc function. We'll head back to tick. We'll hit space to update the function, and we'll see that that warning goes away. And now if we head back to stasis underscore tick, and look, we are using with entity @s again, which means we're going to be using some macro functions. I'm sorry, I really am. Back in stasis underscore tick, we're going to do execute unless data storage Minecraft wand storage wands.stasis underscore data square brackets curly brackets player UUID colon and then $, set of parentheses UUID. Outside of the square brackets, run, return, run, tag, @s remove wand.hasEntity in stasis. And because we're using a macro, we're going to add that $sign at the beginning of the function. Next, we're going to do execute if entity @s with a set of square brackets, scores equals, and then a set of curly brackets, wand.hold block. And I accidentally put 2 equal signs. Nobody judge me. Hold block equals 1 ... and then outside of that, run function wands : wand underscore of underscore stasis / move underscore entity underscore in underscore stasis with storage Minecraft wand storage wands.stasis data square brackets curly brackets player UUID colon $, parentheses UUID. And as you guessed it, we have that $sign there. That means at the beginning of the function, we have to add a $sign to make it a macro command. Also, if we didn't, you see that we have that warning here for move entity in stasis. Guess what? We haven't made that function yet, but we will. I promise. It'll work. After that, we're going to do execute as at s, and then scores equals, set of curly brackets, wand, hold block equals ... 0. And we're going to do run, tag at s, remove, wand dot has entity in stasis, and we're going to do basically the same exact thing again with the execute as at s scores wand hold block ... 0. Run function wands wands / wand _of _stasis / drop _entity in _stasis with, and then the same exact storage that we have up here. So I'm just going to copy that with all the way up to that UUID. And again, we got that UUID. You know what that means. We're going to put that $sign here. Boop. And also, if we didn't put that $sign here, we can see this has a warning because we have not made that function. But trust me, please trust me. I know it's hard to trust me, but trust me, it will work. So let's start with that first function, move entity in stasis. We're going to create a new file for that. Move _entity in stasis.mc function. We're going to do a bunch of macro stuff, which I am very, very sorry about, but we're going to do execute as at s, run tp at n, and then in square brackets, nbt equals a set of curly brackets, UUID : $, set of parentheses, stasis UUID outside of those square brackets, caret 5, and we're going to go ahead and copy this at n parameter, and we're going to put a $sign at the beginning because this is a macro function. Oh, I accidentally deleted the 5. My bad. Don't delete the 5. It's important. Now we're going to do execute as, and then we're going to put in that at n, at s, run, tp, tilde, and we're going to put a 1 on that middle tilde, and go ahead and put that $sign at the beginning because it is a macro command. What this is doing is this is teleporting our entity 5 blocks in front of the player, and then 1 block up. This 1 block up is not super important. I'm using it for spiders and silverfish and endermites just because their hitbox is a little wonky. This will just move them up and it'll look a lot nicer. After that, we're going to do attribute at n again, gravity, base set 0, and don't forget that $sign at the beginning. Then effect give at n again, glowing 1 true, and we'll do team join green at n, and then tag at n add wands.glowing for team, and don't forget to add those macro $signs for each. So what's happening now is we're making sure to set the gravity to 0 for this entity. We're giving them the glowing effect, and we've added them to the green team, so they're going to glow green and they're not going to fall down. So now we're done with move entity in stasis. The next one was the drop entity in stasis, so let's go ahead and create that function. Drop _entity _in _stasis.mc function. This one's gonna have less stuff to do just because we are handling it a little bit differently, but it's basically gonna be tag at n with that same data, remove wand.in _stasis. It's not gonna autofill because we set it up as a macro. We're gonna do data, remove storage, wand storage, wands.stasis _data, and then square bracket, curly bracket, stasis UUID : $, stasis UUID with the parentheses around it. We're going to do attribute at n, gravity, base, reset, and all 3 of these are macros, so we're going to put that $sign in front of it. And this last bit of code is not a macro. We're going to do execute s, run, play sound, Minecraft, entity slime squish player at all tilde volume 1 pitch 1 min volume 0. And I think that's it. So now I want to make sure this bad boy actually works. Let's go ahead and put the stick, block of gold, and a slime ball And there we go, the Wand of Stasis. Now, I don't know if it actually works. Hopefully. Yup, there we go. Oh, and I'm putting this this villager in danger. I'm suffocating him on accident. I guess that's one thing that I gotta be a little bit careful of, huh? But that also does mean if I were to put this little space right here with my Wand of Stasis, and I grabbed this villager, I can move the villager in here without any issues. This is exactly what this wand was purposed for, is moving villagers. It's beautiful. It's perfect. Never again will I have to worry about moving my villagers. That's actually really cool. I'm actually really happy with that. Oh man, what else can I do? It's nighttime. Let's head out. Let's head out. I have things I want to do. Can I use it on Iron Golem? Hey! I'm saving your life! Oh! Look at you go! Oh, wow, that's awesome. And I can pick you up and I could put you in the lava like a menace. Oh, man. Is it far enough away that a creeper's not going to be the death of me? There's my target right there. There's my target. Hello, Mr. Pig. This is so weird, dude. You thought you could hurt me? You thought you could... Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! Okay, I was not paying the fullest of attentions. I spawned inside the composter. That was weird. I wasn't paying full attention, and I panicked and opened up my inventory. I dropped my wand. So I'm gonna go get it. That's embarrassing. Ooh, I just thought of something with the creeper. With the creeper and the skeleton. Can we find a creeper and a skeleton nearby each other real quick? Okay, there's the skeleton. I'm gonna grab you. Okay. Now if I hold this creeper here, right? Do you guys see? Do you guys see? Do you guys see? Oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius, guys. There we go. Pick up the music disc and... Ooh! I'm being shot! I didn't bring any armor or any tools to fight. I just decided to do this. We got a music disc for that. Oh! I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Oh, you know what? I don't think I put, like, boats in there. You can move boats around. Okay. Okay, I have an idea. Oh, oh! Oh my gosh. No way. No way. Okay, and oh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It has consequences. Because I was able to go deep underground. I'm sure that it would kill me. Do I have more slime balls? I do, and I have more gold blocks. So if I do die from this, it's not the end of the world. So it does take us deep underground, right? See, I went into a cave in that last moment. I'm in the composter again. What an interesting little thing though, for sure. Now that we know we can move the villagers pretty easily using the Wand of Stasis, I think it's time we made for ourselves a villager trade hall. And I think we're going to keep this trade hall real nice and simple. And we're just going to put it inside the stairs. I think that would be kind of fun. And I know that probably sounds really funky and strange, but don't worry. That's because it is. But don't you worry, your pretty little heads. It's intentional. And with a little bit of finesse, I got my toolsmith, my armorer, and my weaponsmith all tucked away in the staircase. Now I just need to trade them up so I can get the diamond tools, armor, and weapons. The great thing about the toolsmith and the weaponsmith is that once I trade them up, they are guaranteed to trade iron for emeralds. The armorer has a chance of doing it, but it's not guaranteed. So the toolsmith is at novice level. We'll trade that stone pickaxe, and let's see. 4 iron for 1 emerald, and we already have for ourselves an iron farm, which means we already have stacks upon stacks of iron ingots, which means plenty of emeralds. So how do we feel about this trade hall setup? Do we like it? Do we love it? Do we hate it? I'm leaning towards the hate. But leave a comment down below. I want to hear your opinions on this. And you guys want to know what's like really great about this? It's that once I trade up this toolsmith, I'm going to have diamond axes, diamond pickaxes, the diamond hoe. When I trade up this armor, I'm going to have diamond armor. When I trade up this weaponsmith, I'm going to have at least diamond swords and maybe a diamond axe. And I don't even have to go mining for it. It's perfect. It was meant to be. Okay, I got the emeralds for it and I leveled this guy up some more. Oh, we get full diamond armor. I don't have enough emeralds for everything, so we're going to pick and choose here. I think I'm going to go with projectile protection 4. That's crazy. And protection 2 if I can. I can't. I can only do the 1. So projectile protection it is. Oh boy, we're cooking now. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I know it was very data pack heavy, and most of these videos for this series have been very data pack heavy and not a whole lot of gameplay. So I think what we're going to try doing in the future is streaming Make It Worse. Not the data pack development portion of it, but the gameplay portion of it. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to follow over on Twitch at Curtis Does a Dig. Link will be in the description below. Also, the next Make It Worse episode, what I would like to do is make a new wand type. So we have the Impulse Wand, which makes it so when you right click, it will activate, and it will only activate the one time, making it an impulse. It just does the one thing every time you right click. Then we have the Hold Wand, which is a wand where you actually have to hold down the right mouse button to actually continue using it, and that's how we move the villagers around. But the next wand type that I want to do is what I'm calling a Charge Wand, where you hold down the mouse button and it charges the effect. And once it gets up to different tier of level, when you release it, it does some sort of effect. But I'm honestly not sure what I want to do for that. If you guys have ideas, I'd love to hear them. One of the ideas I had was a farming wand, where you hold down the right mouse button, and then once it reaches the first tier and you release it, it'll do like a certain area around you, growing all the crops. But if you reach the second tier, it would do a further range, and then the third and final tier, it would do a much larger range around, growing all the crops. But I definitely want to hear what you guys have to suggest in the comments below, so make sure to leave a comment. This charge wand will have 3 charge tiers to it, a weaker one, a medium one, and then the max level. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to get notified when I upload a video. And if you're not following already, please consider following me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, and supporting me on Patreon, all at Curtis Does a Dig. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.